Yo, 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 what's going on? This is the Good in the Hood. It's JP. We got some news going on, and some of y'all voted for Trump. Watch out. Hey, watch out, man. They coming after y'all. I'm just letting y'all know, like, this is what happened. They not really talking about on the national news. That's the crazy thing about it. So I haven't heard nothing about it. I just kind of stumbled upon it. Corey Burke. Just remember the name Corey Burke. She worked for Jeff Bezos. She was a training manager at Blue Origin, so the spaceships and stuff. She was married to a popular, or I guess a legitimate, like, author, journalist, trans woman. Pretty set, they like to talk about the $800,000 house in Seattle. Lived in the $800,000 house in Seattle, which I don't know what that gets you in Seattle, because in Cali it don't get you much. So, certain parts of California. So they really so the story is, let's get into the story. That's pretty much the groundwork. Let's get into the story.
New details concerning a brutal murder inside a home in Seattle's Rainier Beach neighborhood. A woman is charged with killing her elderly father with an ice axe after an argument. King 5's Sebastian Robertson joining us live from the King County Jail with the newest details tonight. Sebastian.
Hi, Joy.
Yes, you heard that. She attacked her father with an ice hatch. And not to spoil it for you, it had something to do with the election, because it was on election night, and little emotional distress off of the election results. And this is an election night, so nighttime, because this is West Coast. It's even nighttime in the West Coast at the time.
His 33-year-old Corey Burke is currently in the King County Jail. She's charged with murder. One, held on $2 million bail. Now, new court documents obtained by King 5 shine some light into what happened inside that family home.
1 week after Seattle police found a man slashed and bludgeoned to death, a private biohazard cleanup company is seen entering the home.
That's crazy that it happened so close.
It was neighbors that called 911 around 8 in the evening on November 5th, Election Day, when a woman was seen and heard smashing windows inside her home. Arriving officers encountered 33-year-old Corey Burke, who, according to court...
Yes, you heard that right. 8 in the evening, election night. She was breaking her windows. And by that time in the West Coast, we saw what was happening. People were already celebrating. It didn't work out as they planned. As far as the commentary, if you're watching CNN and MSNBC, the commentary was definitely swaying towards, I think she lost. She's gonna lose. By how much is she gonna lose by? So she was watching the mainstream media, and she saw how they flipped kind of the script just mid-broadcast to, he's no longer a dictator. People, it's no longer crazy voting for him. Yeah, maybe you snap too. Let's get back to the story.
Documents would not give officers permission to search her home. She stated nobody else was inside. Investigators say she was unable to explain the blood on her face, and officers went in anyway, discovering the body of an older white male laying face down on the carpeted floor. That man, later identified as Timothy Burke, Corey's father.
Sorry about that.
Timothy Burke was found with multiple lacerations to his left side, back, head, and ears. Investigators also discovered a silver and blue ice, a pickaxe, lying on the living room floor.
I only saw all the cops. That's it. Block off the road, and so we came around this way.
From Harborview Medical Center, Corey Burke told an officer there was something important about Election Day, that when her father started arguing with her about the lights being shut off, she just freaked out. Police say she whispered to the interviewer, "I killed him." A source tells King 5 Burke was a training manager for Jeff Bezos's
So it's 8 o'clock at night. And this is election night, so the sun had gone down. It's 8 o'clock at night, and she wants the lights off. And she trips on her dad because he doesn't want the lights off. It's nighttime. So I know they're gonna try to hang on. Oh yeah, she wanted the lights off. It's nighttime. So she wanted the lights completely dark while she, went on her rage, her Trump rage or something. I'm trying to get the story, like they keep on focusing on the light switch, because maybe that's just what she told her. I wanted the lights off, like that's what triggered her. But it's nighttime. Why would you want the lights pitch black? You're already going through something, right? Do they not want us to know that this is all about Trump? This is some TDS, whatever they call it, Trump derangement syndrome.
aerospace company Blue Origin. And a LinkedIn profile shows she was employed at the time of the killings. A spokesperson tells King 5 Corey Burke is not currently employed with Blue Origin.
Police initially were able to detain Burke out of concern for her mental health. She was taken to Harborview, and that's where allegedly she confessed to investigators about the crime. She was then transferred to jail. Joyce?
Ashton Roberts.
Yeah, so that's that. Definitely an interesting story, to say the least. Let's go in and bring in Free Stewart, see if he's available. Comment. What's up, Stewie? I'm about to. You're on live right now.
Oh, what's up, bro?
What's going
what's
on?
up, Free Stewart in the building?
That's what's up. Welcome. Yeah, Free Stewart. Gonna have the one up show going soon. Game Set show, all about gaming, and get all your the latest news and all that stuff, like from the podcast coming soon. But yeah, we was just talking about to kind of switch lanes. We was talking about this Corey Burke case in Seattle, where she snapped and she got her dad. Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard about it. She got her dad with the ice axe, and killed him on the night of the election.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I haven't gone into depth the research. I haven't researched it, but when I hear stuff like that, it's hard to believe it's real.
Yeah.
But there's when I looked it up, it's a real story,
Yeah, it's crazy. They said that so the neighbors called the cops around 8 p.m. and that's specific time, so that's our time. And around that time, I was explaining, that's kind of like when we kind of knew Trump was likely to win it. And
Right.
And so it's nighttime, and and the news is kind of focusing on the light switch. Or she just wanted the lights off, but it's nighttime. She wanted all the lights off, but it's nighttime. Like, does that make it like, why are you tripping on you? It seems like he's the logical one. He's like, why are these lights off? Turn the light on before I trip and hurt myself. I'm old. I don't leave the house,
Yeah.
Like,
I think that was one of those.
She was plotting.
Things. Go ahead.
I think that was part of her plan. Like, you gotta have the lights off because I'm gonna have to surprise him.
Yeah, you think so? I think maybe she didn't think that far into it. Just my opinion. I think that maybe that was just her way of creating the altercation. That she can then accelerate, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was like, you ever think someone wants to get into a fight with you, so they start nitpicking you, and then they already know how you're gonna react, so then they just know where they're gonna take it next. So it seems like that would be the reason why she had the light. That's just my opinion.
Just give me a reason.
You think that? Yeah, just a reason, like, to think that she would have it plotted out all the way to where I'm gonna turn the lights off, because it didn't seem like she was trying to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, it's not like a cover up or anything. But from what I heard, the police when they showed up, she said that she was clapping. The police showed up and heard her clapping, and then they asked her why was she clapping, and she said because she had just did that.
Yeah.
She just killed her dad, and she had finally had done it. So that she wasn't trying to cover it up. So she wouldn't need a way to try to cover the tracks, I guess to say, like turning off the lights. It seems like something that she was just like, you know what, fuck this, Trump. Excuse my language. Trump is horrible, okay? And my dad's a Trump supporter, and I'm pissed. So then she went down there and turned the light off. You know what I mean? And he's like, what are you doing? I'm reading. And she's like, fuck that, leave the lights off. Because I think it was, when I first heard the story, I thought it was his house. Like she lived with him, but now apparently that was her house.
Okay.
So she was like a caregiver for him in her house, and so she was trying to like bully him. You know what I mean? Turn off the lights, and then he'd turn it back on because she knew her dad's a strong supporter. He ain't going for that shit. And then she was like, that just gave her just enough steam that she needed to do that heinous crime. You know what I mean? It just made her. It snapped her.
Yeah.
That's all she needed.
And just to be clear, that's kind of we speculating, but just I think correctly speculating. This may be a educated guess that he is a Trump supporter based on her anger towards him that night.
Yeah, based on anger. And then also you hear on the news, the mainstream media is applying pressure because you hear on the news. I actually heard this on The View, and I also heard Joy Behar say something similar, where it was if your family members are Trump supporters, pretty much you have a good reason to cut them off. Don't feel bad to cut them off. Don't show up for holidays. You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much promoting a hate towards people who voted for Trump, even if they're in your family. So it kind of goes along those same lines, So I guess that's the part that they're leaving out.
Yeah.
Is that he was a Trump supporter. But but we can assume why. We know why they would leave that part out, because then they would be held liable, and they can actually have a criminal suit against them for inciting this. That's the word I was looking for. Inciting.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think with that said, like if he was a Trump supporter, and just assuming he is, the fact that Trump ran pretty much his most impactful article was pretty much, as trans, I guess trans would see it as anti-trans. You know what I mean? Because if it was like, let's just say if it was talking about black people, even though that'd be like outrageous, you know what I mean? But the campaign, like Kamala said that she wants, black people to be able to, eat for, and it worked, at a different time, you know what I mean? So we would call it anti-black. So I say as a trans person, they would say that ad where it's like, Kamala wants to give trans people like sex changes in prison on taxpayer money, you know what I mean, and have her saying something like that, and then it being put in a negative light and being so impactful to Americans, even though she didn't know that at that time. But they're running commercials. They was running that commercial a lot, like football games, and like anytime they could, they were running that commercial, and I'm sure they were doing it in Seattle too, even though it'd have been a waste of money. But there's regular football games they're running it,
Yeah.
You could see how like much his campaign was based on the anti-trans,
So what is she being? She's trans. She's not trans though.
No, she's not trans, but her husband, her wife is. Her wife is trans.
Wife?
Yeah, so I guess they met. Maybe she was already trans. I mean, he was trans. She was already has already transitioned prior to that meeting, but she's some popular artist, Stephanie
she's an author.
Author, yeah.
She has like her own publication, like a weekly publication or something of that sort.
Yep, Stephanie Allen.
Called Bems or something like that.
Yep. She wrote for the Daily Beast.
But that just goes to show another. So this woman who killed her father is married to a man who acts and dresses, plays cosplay as a woman. So it's not that she's even a lesbian. She's heterosexual, but she just wants her man to be feminine. So that goes a whole nother angle to the story, where it seems as if one could, assume masculinity. So that was her revolt against masculinity when she felt like the feminine woman didn't get in office, she was going to take it out on masculinity. And the closest person to her was her masculine father that raised her, who she's probably hated all his life for being that way, despised.
Yeah.
So that goes to a whole nother factor that we got here.
So let me
where we can actually
kind of hit on, because I had you away from the mic for a second. You pretty much just said that her dating a trans woman, which is in all eyes a feminine man, is showing that she's a feminist, and she's the fact that she's heterosexual dating a feminine man to the point where he's dressed like a woman. She's an extreme feminist. Is that what you pretty much saying?
That's what I'm saying. She's an extreme feminist, and then there's another problem that we have to deal with. It's like a radical feminist. That is, we have to worry about murking people, and I think we've already seen that in recent history with the recent the school shooters, or the most recent, like 3, happen to be trans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and the trans women or trans men, I get so confused, I don't even know what they're called, but women cosplaying as men. So it's as if they want to take the men's place and be the more feminine man. So they hate the masculine men. They need to get them out of here or something. It's some like radical feminism that I can see that is going to be a problem in the near future, especially with Trump being president and them revolting against it. We're going to see some feminist extreme. I doubt the media is going to call it that. They're not going to portray it as that, but it's going to be radical feminism, like to the point like homeland terrorism type shit.
Yeah, let's hope not. But they're definitely just to kind of maybe play into that a little bit. I'm on Twitter right now, so I'm checking the social media. They're referring to her as a power lesbian. See,
there you go.
A power lesbian. So I want to know where that definition actually comes with. What is a power lesbian?
I think we can even. I think we can even speak about our own family. I'm familiar with what a power lesbian is, because I would say that my Aunt Jolie was a power lesbian, which is just I would say a masculine but feminine. She's a man, however she's a woman, but she's just more power. She's like masculine. She still does makeup, puts makeup on, and dresses womanish, but she hasn't gone full bull dyke. You know what I mean? So that would be like a power lesbian, whereas a bull dyke would be a bull dyke or a stud. I guess, I don't know. That's just me defining shit in my own ways.
Yeah. So wife of prominent trans writer hacked father to death with ice axe. That's from New York Post.
Oh, that's crazy. So
yeah. So maybe it is. That's from the 13th. It feels like I haven't heard too much about this.
Yeah, they're not gonna say anything about it because it doesn't involve a white man killing a black person. That's the only time they make a big deal out of it. And understanding that the mainstream media is ran by mostly liberal, do we want to say ooish, liberals. So you can only expect that, they're going to be pushing a certain narrative, the narrative that they want to create for whatever reason, which I still don't understand, is white man is bad. Why is it? Why is white man is bad? And then the man that was killed in the story we're talking about, white man, right? Am I wrong? So why they're pitching a narrative, white man is bad and deadly and horrible to society. So it's as if it's as if they want something to happen. They're kind of create issues, or make white men become like extremists or something. It's like it's almost as if they're pushing poking the bear, I guess you would say. And they want to create some type of civil war.
Well, because it's the easy target.
Easy target.
It's the easy target to where the white men who don't believe or who do believe that there's been some sort of like white power structure in America get the duck out and say, look, they're the ones I believe now. Even though I benefited and I still flex my power on you, You know what I mean? When I want to, because we have, we have the money, we have all this stuff, and they get to duck it. So but they get to use, they get that, and on the other hand, while they duck it, they get to use that to duck it while having you pretty much, go after the people who culturally would you would think would be more pro like white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or less, maybe not. You could say pro white, or just not so universal. you know, as far as like they're not like like they don't want Democrats will accept anybody anywhere with their hand out.
Yeah. I think it has to do with something of the sort where the white man is looked at like as they're the ones that are the leader of the American dream. They're having the kids in the family. You can look to them. It's not only black men, white men, obviously. You know what I mean? It's black men and all the other races of men who have families and stuff like that. But the white man is staunchly Republican with his. You know what I mean? He has a family and they ride and the family rides with the white man, with the man in the house. You know what I mean? Whereas in other, not all the time, I'm generalizing, but you see 80% of black men still voted for Kamala, which means they're kind of riding on the woman's side still. You know what I mean? So they got to keep all other men from riding on the white man's side because actually they don't want to play that traditional role. They want to be the feminists.
But to
they
understand,
what's that?
But just to understand how that works, and like those are like, what I mean, it's essentially Democrats, essentially white people that are telling black, what I mean, it's just the other side of it, it's just two different sides of white supremacy, which is, and they just, how they have us thinking about it isn't even how it is. The truth is that they both control both sides, and like, you stupid for thinking that either one is gonna look out for you, because they're like, either way, like, they're gonna win. Like, one's gonna get you to vote against your interest. You know what I mean? Like, one, because all they want to really do, because everybody kind of knows the Democrats, Pelosi's not stupid, or the breadcrumbs are everywhere. They're gonna use the fact that immigrants boost the GDP, illegal immigrants boost the GDP. Just having more people in America boosts the GDP, because it's then once they get I-10s and they start paying taxes, that's like debt. You know what I mean? That they owe America now, and America can expect that money. So they know that the Treasury likes that. The Democrats know that, okay, if we can get these people in and take care of them and treat them right, they'll love us, and we get all these votes, and we can have it our way for a while, our way of white supremacy for a while. You know what I mean? And they don't like, and they really hate that Trump isn't really like part of the other white supremacy side. Like, although like his followers may be mixed and whatever, but he's not necessarily part of the conservative side that's like upholds the other end, where it's like, we're racist, we're like, you know what I mean, like we like these, like the fake Dixiecrats, you know what I mean, they're kind of getting wiped out right now, where it's like, yeah, people are it's less about race, and it's more about it's more about like not using race, you know what I mean? But then there's people on the other side that do too much. They do way too much when it comes to like black people being successful. Like, they're like, like there's racists. There's like the racists in the Trump camp. Like, ain't no lie, and they're outright racist. You know what I mean? And to avoid them.
There are racists in the Trump camp, definitely. But even with that being said, we cannot disagree that right now we are probably the most racially unified that we have ever been. Just considering that how Trump became president and how he got the largest percentage of minority voters of any ever of history, you know what I mean? How 50% of Hispanics went his way. So you can't say that Trump is racially dividing anybody. We're actually the most unified as we've ever been. Now we're going into an era of gender divide, where it's like we're dividing it across the board, men, women. If you're a man and you side with men, you're on that side. But if you're a man, you got to side with the women. Otherwise, you're the enemy. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like almost a gender divide coming in right now. If you don't side with the women, which goes with this story right here, which makes it goes to also, so her her mentality, what could have been, what is her psyche when she was thinking this, you know? Look, they lost. According to them, they lost. They feel like they've lost. Well, I say that they've won because I really believe that Trump is a good candidate that's good for America. And if you're American, you're gonna win. But she, in her mind, thinks that she lost. Mm-hmm. So and that Trump coming off as the media portrayed him as a rapist, a misogynist, all kinds of derogatory, even Hitler, you know. So
LGBTQ rights. They held that over, talking about the right to marry.
The right to marry, yep. They think they're going to lose the right to marry. That's just the media fucking telling them that. Trump never said anything of the sort. You know, he never said it. So they're really feeling like their way of life is in danger, and it's no one else's fault but the mainstream media. So the mainstream media can't fucking come out here and be like, oh yeah, they can't tell the real story. But they're not going to make it nationwide. But
just to say, like, that don't even apply to her. The right to marry, because
oh yeah,
they could easily get married. Them two could easily get married. Like, they could easily get married. It doesn't even apply to her. So
don't even apply to. But it applies to that fucking what is it? That ideology, that fucking way of thinking. They're staunch on this fucking ideology, and to the point where it's become radical. They're killing their fathers. It's crazy. And it's not as if this is an isolated incident, because you can go on fucking Instagram right now and see these bitches talking about the 4B movement. I'm not sure if you heard about the 4B movement.
Mm-mm.
It's women that are literally shaving their heads and talking about they're not fucking no more. Like, they're not fucking with men no more. The 4B movement. Look it up. We could go make another show about this. They're literally shaving their heads. The 4B movement. It's black. It's all races of women. That's what I'm saying. It's not even we're not racially divided anymore. If you side with them, you're cool with them. Shit. You know what I mean? And same over here on the Trump side. Well, on the Trump side, I say we're more fucking, everybody on the Trump side, we want America. And if you live in America, it's a better place, you know? So that's this. But on their side, it's like, nah, fuck that. We need to destroy this place. They're masculine. They're raping us. They won't let us fucking board our kids. You know what I mean? I'm going to kill my dad. Crazy. Yeah. It's like a war. It's almost like she was a soldier for the ideology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we call it like a suicide bomber or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She went and just blew up the joint. Bow. Like, this was.
She was supposed to be the first one. She was supposed. They were supposed to follow her.
Yep.
Then nobody followed it.
They supposed to crash out.
They were supposed to be like, I did it. She did it.
Yep.
And be honest with you, just to hit on that, like, not having a masculine man in the home, like, maybe not, like, listening and not respecting her father. Not saying he wasn't masculine, but not respecting him. But and respecting the feminine father, like your partner's supposed to be the one to talk you down from this kind of shit. And when you got like someone who's actually dealing with, obviously, I would say by most people's, you know, I mean, it could be argued by society, but dealing with something mentally, the fact that they have to come out and address to feel good for themselves, like, that person is not gonna back you mentally. I don't care how many books or how many you know, stories she written, or how many awards she got, you know what I mean? Like, she's not like she's not gonna talk you down from doing the crazy thing.
Yeah.
As of planning to kill your dad for years, you know what I mean, or saying he had to go, like, or hating your parents so much that you want to kill them on election night because something doesn't go your way. You know, like, she's not like that. That's not the person that's gonna like talk you down. So it's even like having a partner that, like, she lacks that person to be like, you know, that's, you know, that sounds kind of crazy. Anybody girl came to them, say some shit like that, but like, you know what, like, unless dude was greedy and there was money involved or some shit, you know what I mean, and you know, like, it had to been some sort of other motive, you know what I mean. But if it was just like, I'm mad because my dad doesn't like Trump and he's gonna take my right, you know, like, boom, like, kill my dad, like, that's, any dude would be like, that's crazy, like, I'm gonna call the cops on you.
You're really hitting on something when you say that. You realize you're really hitting on something, because that's the type of men that they want to be in the household, is the men that don't protect them from themselves and their bad decisions. They don't want any man to be like, nah, don't do that. That's not good for you. They just want a full crash out. They don't give a fuck. So that's the type of man that she chose. And they could have been, there could be children involved. And there's just this whole ideology that's going to destroy the country. But I think that we actually had a fucking mandate against it with the Trump election, and it showed that Americans aren't for that shit. But, you know, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be soldiers out there like this bitch that are gonna be out here trying to fucking fight for her cause or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever she believes, and then we cannot negate we cannot fucking leave out the mainstream media's fault in all this, and they fucking almost got Trump murked twice. You know, if you've seen how they do it. If you like with the whole January 6th thing, they're still trying to run that thing. No one even died except for the person that the police killed, but they're still trying to run it. That's like the like almost like a 9/11 type of incident. You know what I mean? But then when shit like this happens, they don't. It's crickets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's the mainstream media, bro. It's the mainstream media. It's their fault all the time. Well, not all the time, but this one for sure. They're creating this fucking mentality of insanity.
Yeah.
Even when you look back to the fucking you saw how they were acting when the George Floyd and the riots. They weren't fucking talking no one down. They were bailing them out. Like, go ahead, crash out. We'll bail you out. That's craziness. But for some reason they're still allowed to exist, and people still fucking watch them. But we see that that's dwindling. their credits are dwindling. So there's hope. There's hope. That story's crazy. That lady is bonkers.
Yeah, that's crazy. They got the girl Samantha Allen connected to the trans congressman. Obviously, right? It's probably a small group.
Really?
What?
They got her connected to the. Yeah, I bet you it is a small. I bet you they fucking have meetings and all that shit all regularly. They try to push their agenda. How they're going to push their agenda? Because that's the reason why they want the power.
Yeah, they got her. It says looks like an invitation or something.
What's up?
So it looks like an invitation through the lens of hope of Samantha Allen, journalist and real. Discuss trans resistance. First black trans elected, pushing out the merch. Trans joy. That says Sarah McBride. I guess she's like same flyer. Yeah. So that could be something too. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why no one wanted to talk about it. It's like, oh no, like she's trying to protect her boo thing, her wife that just killed her dad over the Trump thing, and then she's connected to, it's like, what? Hold on.
Connected to big things. No, it's not. It's always across the board because it's not just them. Because it's the same thing that happened with that trans shooter. That had the manifesto. If you heard that trans shooter's manifesto, did you hear about the manifesto? The shit that was in the manifesto.
I remember hearing some stuff about it. They
didn't want the manifesto drop for a long time. For first thing, they were trying to prevent that manifesto from dropping. They didn't want no one to hear about it, and they fucking blocked it. And for until people weren't even interested in it anymore. You know what I mean? So now, if you go back though and read that manifest, she was talking about. Like cutting off, she don't like little Christian kids and how privileged they are, and talking about cutting off their dicks and shit. And she went up and shot up a school. It's craziness. Crazy, they're crazy. It's like they're privileged white people, and that's like I said, it's more of that fucking mainstream media provoked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they got that connected. You could do a whole show on that manifest.
Yeah, so I don't, I'm sure there may be a manifest for this one. They're trying to hide out.
I bet you.
They're definitely keeping this one on the hush. So, man, if y'all here to share this story, we gotta get this one popping because I didn't know that she had the Washington connection with the husband wife.
That's
the wife.
You know what the craziest images I've seen so far is that when you put the JFK side by side with who was the other? Good morning. Who was that? Okay, JFK. What is his position? RFK. I mean, what is his position in government?
HHS.
What's up, HSS? So put the current HSS versus the new HSS. You put those two side by side, and you can just see how bonkers what they believe is normal is. Anyways, that's all I had to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up out of here though. JP, free stored in the building. Look out for the for the GameStop, for the Game Night Sets podcast we about to do and the 1-Up competitions. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you jumping on. I'll catch you later.
All right, bro.
All right. Yeah. That's Reese Stewart. So, yeah, what it comes down to, I know that was a lot. Let's just put a bow on this. Is this like extreme radical feminism gone left? And should we be expecting more of this? Like, is there a reason why we're not hearing this? Is it because she's connected? We learned a lot of stuff just going through this hour right here, this 35 minutes. Will we hear about this again? Is it going to be pushed under the rug? Listen, I'm going to continue to try to follow it and see if we hear anything from it. But the fact that the Samantha Allen is connected amongst the people in the media receiving awards and stuff, I'm sure that this can be swept under the rug. Like, it would be bad. It could bring more hate upon the community. So let's not show them this story because we don't want to bring more hate. It's hateful. This is hateful media, hateful rhetoric. We'll see. Y'all stay up, like, subscribe, comment, all that. Appreciate y'all tuning in.